So the book that we're going to be reading for our Read Aloud today is called When You Are Brave. And the first thing that I would have my students do is I would have them take a look at the cover. And what we're going to be focusing on is about making connections, personal connections, outside connections. And I would want them to really look at the cover and notice something that they see, something that stands out to them, and make a prediction about what they think it's going to be about. I would have them turn and discuss with their partner or whoever's sitting around them, let them talk. And I'll walk around and then I'll ask for certain things that they notice as a whole class and come back together. And then I would point out something that I noticed as well that wasn't stated. Then we would go ahead and start reading. I'm going to take this off because it's annoying. When we are brave. Some days when everything around you seems scary, you have to be brave. Brave as a bird that steps from its nest, hoping to soar throughout the sky. Brave as a dog that wanders for miles, searching for one well-known light. Brave as a caterpillar that builds a bed, wondering when it will wake, because some days are full of things you'd really rather not do. Like plunging into a pool all by yourself, hoping you'll swim and not sink, or standing alone in front of a crowd, searching for one friendly face, or boarding the bus and riding to school, wondering what lies ahead. I would go ahead and stop here. And I would ask my students to go ahead and turn and talk with their partners and neighbors about something that you'd really rather not do, or something that makes you scared, that makes you uncomfortable. And I'd really want them to talk and find out what makes their friends uncomfortable, because I think it'd be a good way to find out, like, not everyone is ready for everything, and there are still things that make us scared. And then I would go ahead and have everyone turn back to a full class, and I would ask some people to share out what's something that makes you scared, and I'd be like, I would communicate with them, and then I would share something that I'm scared about, and I would say, I'm really scared of roller coasters. I am terrified of the big drop, and my friends and family really have to force me to go onto a roller coaster in order to face my fear. And then we would go back to the story. It goes, at times like these, the world can seem too big, too loud, too hard, and too much. When you feel too small, too quiet, too tired, not enough. And at this point, I would ask kind of a rhetorical question, and I would say, is there a time when you guys ever feel too quiet or too tired, or like you're not fit to do something that your parents might ask you to do? You can just nod your head or shake your head no. You don't need to turn and discuss, because, and I would say that, because I don't want kids to be worried to share about a time where they felt just too sad or like they're doing that, but for them to notice that everyone else around them has had the same feeling as well, and know that they're not alone in a situation, that everyone can feel a little sad at times, which is okay. And on those days, look deep inside to find the courage you need. It might be hidden away, but if you close your eyes and breathe, you will see it shining its light in the dark, warm, steady, safe. And at this point, I would ask the students to kind of do as the book was saying. And I would say, all right, guys, now let's go ahead and close our eyes and breathe. And then try and feel like that steadiness and warmth inside of you. And it says, your light might be small to start, just a spark, but you can turn it into a flame. Picture it in your mind, then imagine it becoming bigger and bolder. I would stop here and I would notice, and I would point out to my students, say, oh, it looks like her light looks like it's in the shape of a butterfly. What would your light and your strength look like surrounding you? Go ahead and turn and talk to your friends. And I would listen around and ask them to share out, what do they see their spark looking like? What makes them feel really safe? And then imagining it bigger and bolder around them. You can make your courage so big it brightens your heart, fills your fingers, and flows to your toes. Think about what you're good at, something you love, or someone who loves you. I would have my students stop here and share with their partner as well, or just go ahead and shout out in class something that they're really good at, whether it be a craft that they're really good at making, or if they're really good at drawing, or if they're really good at a sport or cooking some food. I just want everyone to go ahead and share something that they're really passionate about and enjoy. No one else will see it, but you'll know you glow, and you'll know you are ready. And I would do a quick point out, and I would say, do you guys notice how the pages, they're getting brighter? If you go back and look, all of the pages beforehand were very dark. But now, as she's starting to think about the things that she loves, they're getting brighter, aren't they? No matter how deep the water, how loud the crowd, how hard the ride, or how much there is to do, you might struggle, you might succeed, people might clap or laugh, or not notice at all. No matter what happens, you'll be all right. Because once you find your courage, it's easy to use again and again. The next time life seems scary or you start something new, you can remember when you were brave. And then you can stand straight and walk tall. I'd go ahead and do one last stop and share here about a time when they were really courageous in their life, about the time when they faced their fear and how it made them feel afterwards. I would want them to really discuss this with their partner and see if they can share something with them or notice something in common about the feeling afterwards of like really facing a fear. And we go ahead and turn and share back with the class about a time when they face a fear of theirs, because it's something they should be really proud about. And it's not something, it doesn't need to be something that's big or something that's huge and scary, something as small as overcoming sleeping in the dark because you're scared of the dark. I think that's a great accomplishment, and I'd be sure to point that out to my students, that no matter how big or small the fear you face, it's a great step in the next direction, and it's something to be courageous about and happy about. Knowing you are as brave as a bird, a dog, and a caterpillar. As brave as you. That's the end. So I would then ask the students just how they felt after reading the book, if they saw themselves in her shoes at all going into a new and scary situation. And I would ask them to share some ideas with me on how to learn how to face your fear or how to be courageous. And I think it'd be a really good discussion to have as a whole class, because there are no wrong answers or anything like that. And I just think this was a very good book for the students to have and a great personal lesson to learn along the way.